right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
Record expunged. The gun-toting St. Louis couple who confronted protesters have their convictions cleared. Now they're asking the city for something in return.
Rough weekend. Rain chances have increased, but it still doesn't look like a washout. When and where the rain will be most impactful.
Tackling a traffic issue.
Enough deaths and injuries have happened. Let's fix it.
A vote tonight could decide whether the city of Kirkwood is one step closer to slowing down motorists on one of its busiest roads. Enough is enough. That's what the Kirkwood City Council is saying when it comes to reckless driving on Big Bend. Good evening. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. They're calling on the St. Louis County Department of Transportation to lower the speed limit to 30 miles per hour after years of accidents and safety concerns. 5 on Your Side's Laura Barczewski was there when the council approved the resolution. Laura, what are residents saying?
Mike and Kelly, they say it's a good start, but it's really not enough. As people already don't obey the speed limit, they want people to be forced to slow down.
Pete McBrady lives near Big Bend and says speeding drivers are everywhere.
Based on the number of accidents on Big Bend and Guards, it's probably getting out of hand.
Currently on Big Bend, the speed limit ranges from 30 to 40 miles per hour. McBrady says the proposed speed limit reduction to 30 miles per hour between 270 and the city limits of Kirkwood needs to go hand in hand with enforcement.
If you gave people tickets at some point, there needs to be an extra penalty. I mean, if you're consistently caught speeding, there ought to be some impact on your license.
Michael Carmody with Safer Streets for Kirkwood and St. Louis County says for 7 years they've been trying to get city and county leaders to take action and make Big Bend safer.
We have data from a recent Johns Hopkins study that shows 30 alone is not going to help it. The minimum that they should be doing is taking it down to 25 miles an hour, narrowing the lanes to 10 feet, and then ideally a road diet.
Carmody says half of the cars in the speed study were going more than 45 miles per hour. Kids won't even walk to school because they feel unsafe.
If you look at that corridor, there is no buffer to the sidewalks, so you're literally inches away from cars doing 50, 55 miles an hour.
The Kirkwood City Council and Mayor hope the resolution.
Resolution 93, 2024 passes.
Will carry more weight in urging the St. Louis County Department of Transportation to take action as their past efforts as recent as April of 2023 haven't worked.
I'm hoping that we can keep pressing St. Louis County to work with us to get additional safety measures in place.
The Kirkwood City Council says they hope that all of Big Bend could be lowered to 30 miles per hour at some point, and they hope that this action will force them to take more action at the county level. Reporting live in Kirkwood, Laura Barczewski, 5 on Your Side.
Right now, the North County Police Cooperative is patrolling the streets of Floridel Hills. Earlier today, the police department and city announced a brand new police partnership that started just minutes ago at 10 o'clock tonight. Floridel Hills was covered by the Velda City Police Department, but the entire department resigned in March. The Paysdale Police Department stepped in to handle policing in both cities.
Tonight, new court records reveal some daring ATM heists in North St. Louis County where 2 brazen bandits swiped tens of thousands of dollars. 5 on Your Side's Robert Townsend reports that these thieves are still at large.
It was a routine stop for drivers pulling up to these ATMs on Bell Fountain Road in North St. Louis County Thursday. Many had plenty to say about the bold crimes police say 2 Metro East men committed here months ago.
I can't hardly believe it. You know, everything is bound to happen.
St. Louis County prosecutors issued summonses for 53-year-old Ronald Blake of Collinsville and 34-year-old Avion Jones of Madison. According to court documents, during the early morning hours on November 30th, 2023, the 2 men broke into the automatic teller machines and stole more than $32,000. Investigators say about 2 weeks later, Blake and Jones returned, did it again, and took off in a car with almost $58,000 for a total of more than $90,000.
That's a lot of money, man. That's how skillful they are, because usually they just pull the whole thing straight from the front.
A big question is, how did the suspects get into these machines? Police will only tell us they used tools to pry open the backs of the ATMs.
The people work hard here. They find businesses.
Marsha Bassett hopes the ATM break-ins don't give the neighborhood a black eye.
You're going to have people scared to come up here.
Blake and Jones are each charged with 2 counts of stealing from an ATM and 2 counts of first-degree property damage. They're due in court next month.
I think it's going to be catch me when you can.
Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
Investigators say the car used by the suspects is also linked to more ATM break-ins in North County and Illinois.
A nice night for a baseball game over at Busch Stadium, but the Weather First team is tracking our next round of storms. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell is timing out the incoming rain.
You know, and I don't know that it's going to impact the Cardinals all that much. They've had games tomorrow night, Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon. I think we're going to make those baseball games just fine. But in between, we have opportunities. We're jumping right into tomorrow night into early on Saturday morning. That's a cluster of showers and thunderstorms that comes at us from the plains. It's here before daybreak on Saturday, and it lingers in the metro area probably through 8, 9 o'clock, but the bulk of it pushing away. And as we head through the rest of the day, it looks like we'll generally become partly cloudy or mostly cloudy, stay a little below average, and have a lot of dry time during the afternoon hours. So yes, the rain chances have increased a little bit, but it's not tonight, it's not tomorrow, and our athletic events should get in this weekend for sure. Here's kind of what we're thinking on this. The weekend forecast is a bit wetter because we also added some higher rain chances Sunday, especially southwest of St. Louis. But again, similar scenario, clusters of showers and thunderstorms. They come in, they zip out, and it looks like that one on Sunday tracks a little farther to the south. We'll see you in about 7 minutes, Mike.
New tonight, the misdemeanor convictions of the St. Louis couple who waved guns at protesters in 2020 have been expunged. Yesterday, a judge wiped the sentences of Mark and Patricia McCloskey. Immediately after the ruling, Mark McCloskey demanded the city return the 2 guns seized as part of his 2021 guilty plea. The couple said they felt threatened by the protesters who passed their home on their way to demonstrate outside the former mayor's home. Tonight, a new push to continue growing downtown St. Louis. We were there for the launch of a new initiative called Downtown Summer Nights.
It comes amid ongoing concerns about safety. Brent Solomon is live downtown with more on what the police chief says he's doing to address those concerns. Brent.
Well, Mike, it all boils down to intention and technology. Today, the police chief says thanks to the help of ARPA funds, city funds, and money from the Police Foundation, he's able to use nearly $5 million on technology to keep you safe.
It's a glimpse of downtown St. Louis, the way people we talk to want to see it.
We love to see it. We wish it would be more of a daily basis.
Music, food trucks, drinks.
And this is what downtown should be about, you know, to come downtown, have a little fun.
Thursday, Greater St. Louis Inc. unveiled Summer Nights, a weekly gathering at Keener Plaza for people to come out and experience downtown.
We want to have a destination downtown weekly, something for people to do. Other cities have things, you know, every single week. Their downtowns are bustling, and we really wanted to bring that to St. Louis.
On the same day, a crowd of fans outside of Busch to cheer on the Cards. Leaders want people to keep coming downtown and to feel safe. At a public safety committee meeting Thursday, Police Chief Robert Tracy said officers are taking advantage of several technologies to keep you safe. 30 mobile cameras being placed across the city, GPS technology, and nearly 400 license plate readers at traffic signals to find stolen cars.
We can get ahead of these individuals that are doing these crimes, and we've had great success breaking down some of these rings of carjackers and/or people that are out there stealing vehicles, holding them accountable so that they don't go back out and reoffend.
This as community partners do their part to bring downtown back.
I see change. This is a beautiful thing to see, honestly.
Downtown Summer Nights will happen every Thursday from 5 until 8 p.m. through August, except for the 4th of July. Live downtown, Brent Solomon, 5 on your side.
The St. Louis Police Department is also expanding its Shot Spotter program in 2 South City neighborhoods. The department says it will use grant money to bring the technology to Dutchtown and Mount Pleasant. According to police, this area has seen thousands of shots fired calls in recent years. The Shot Spotter program will be implemented by late summer or early fall. Today marks 80 years since the D-Day invasion. World War II veterans returned to the site of the battle that turned the tide of war. How we may not see a ceremony like this one again. The I-Team says the city of St. Louis is making big mistakes when it comes to picking up your recycling. The new technology that's changing how your bins are collected.
I think that this transparency will be able to make better decisions.
While we work around the rain this weekend, all signs are pointing toward a big-time summer feel by next weekend. We're tracking a pattern change in 7 minutes.
"80 years ago today, the course of history changed forever. Allied forces launched Operation Overlord in Europe, sending thousands of troops into France. The invasion of Normandy helped turn the tide of World War II against Nazi Germany. Today, some of the men and women who fought that day returned to those beaches. They were joined by world leaders, including President Biden and the First Lady. For many veterans, this year's D-Day anniversary could be the last trip they are able to make. Most say they're not there for themselves.
I'm here to tell you that heroes are up there. They gave their life. They gave their life so that I could make it.
Tomorrow, President Biden will visit Pointe du Hoc, a place famous in American military history where Army Rangers climbed 100 feet to neutralize German guns firing down on the beach.
Tonight, there is a renewed push to save the Radiation Exposure Compensation Act, known as RECA. Several lawmakers, including Congresswomen Cori Bush and Ann Wagner, introduced a bipartisan amendment to the National Defense Authorization Act. This would try to extend and expand RECA, the program that compensates victims of radioactive waste. With no action in Congress, RECA expires tomorrow. Tonight, we've uncovered troubling practices that undermine efforts to recycle correctly.
It's an urgent problem throughout the area, but especially in the city of St. Louis. Senior investigative reporter Paula Vassan has more on the push to use artificial intelligence to bring accountability and efficiency to our city's recycling process.
In St. Louis, the struggle to recycle correctly is costing the city and its residents dearly. But a new pilot program led by St. Louis University researcher Orrin Iden aims to change that.
And we have one camera on this initial prototype.
At the heart of this city-backed initiative are innovative sensors that may revolutionize how we manage our recycling. The I-Team discovered only 3 in 10 of the city's alley recycling bins actually get recycled. The rest head to landfills. But these, he says, will be game changers.
To really scale up and increase the recycling rates.
You sound pretty confident.
Yes. This is for a bin that doesn't necessarily have a ridge on top.
At $50 each, they're being deployed in 100 recycling bins across South City. Within a few years, he hopes they'll be citywide. They're designed to track what's being thrown out, measuring everything from gas emissions to humidity, and even capturing images of items as they're discarded.
It really creates transparency. We have these black garbage bags inside.
The goal is to pinpoint where recycling is being done incorrectly, with contaminants like liquids and plastic bags often ruining entire truckloads.
I think that this transparency will be able to make better decisions.
While using newly collected data to help educate.
We're going to be going and holding recycling events in communities and parks.
He says the technology will also help overworked city employees plan more efficient routes.
What are some optimal collection routes to allocate these very limited driver resources effectively?
But while this initiative offers hope, our investigation reveals serious flaws in current recycling practices in St. Louis.
Blue dumpster.
Viewers have sent the I-Team video evidence. This video from the Shaw neighborhood shows a city driver combining recycling and trash. And this from the Southampton neighborhood shows the same thing. A spokesperson told us just 4 workers are responsible for inspecting thousands of alley recycling bins citywide. They claim these workers inform drivers when to send contaminated bins to landfills. But residents we spoke with are not convinced. Iden believes the issues stem from worker shortages. He believes the new technology will help.
They are a step in the right direction.
The I-Team requested official records to verify if drivers are permitted to mix recycling with trash. The city has yet to provide any documentation. Our open records request, filed in April, remains unanswered. Meanwhile, residents hope the new technology could mark a turning point for St. Louis's recycling efforts, bringing much-needed accountability and transparency. For the I-Team, Paula Basan, 5 on your side.
If you'd like to get in touch with our I-Team, you can leave a voice message at 314-444-5231 or email Paula directly at tips@ksdk.com, and all calls and correspondence will be kept confidential.
As we celebrate Pride this month, a new exhibit opens at the Missouri History Museum this weekend. Tonight, 5 on Your Side hosted a preview for Gateway to Pride. The exhibit celebrates St. Louis's gay culture and history, showcasing artifacts from the area's LGBTQIA+ culture, including stories, photographs, and testimonies. It opens to the public Saturday and will remain open for more than a year. And for a full list of Pride events and the activities in the St. Louis area this month, just text the word Pride to 314-425-5355 and we will send you a link. Well, Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell back with us with the Weather First forecast as we slowly head into the weekend.
Yeah, we're trying to get to the weekend, right? And so we thought we'd start tonight with the first 10 days or the first 7 days of your 10-day forecast, because the weekend obviously is top of mind here. And you notice the rain chances higher for Saturday than they are on Sunday. Sunday, there's still going to be some rain for some of us. The better push looks to be to the south of St. Louis. But at the moment, it is absolutely delightful and refreshing. There's a look out at Lambert today. Flight's doing a little better across much of the region as we haven't had active weather closer to us. Some of our outlying areas already approaching that 60-degree mark. In fact, Salem, Missouri is down to 59 now. It's 64 in Warrenton, over in Mount Vernon, down in DeSoto, 62 in the Chesterfield Valley. Our dew point temperatures, that measure of how much moisture is really in the air, they're down into the 40s right now. And now that the winds have settled some, we do expect temperatures everywhere to drop back mostly into the 50s. It'll still be around 60 at Lambert, but there's going to be some spots away from town tonight in the coolest locations. You could bet Salem, Missouri is one of them. That'll be down around 50 degrees under this clear sky with the winds much lighter. Tomorrow, beautiful day. More sunshine's on the way. It's delightful. Mid-80s, won't feel bad at all. The low humidity, the refreshing air sticks with us. The changes come overnight tomorrow night into early Saturday morning. Showers and thunderstorms in a complex will approach us from mid-Missouri 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, so expect to wake up to some rain around St. Louis. This will linger for a bit through the morning, at least scattered areas, sliding into the metro east, but moving away from the metro during the course of the early to mid-afternoon with some sunshine returning. Now, there is a front sliding through, so especially south of St. Louis, there could be a few stronger storms that develop Saturday evening. As we head into the overnight Saturday night into Sunday morning, yes, another complex of storms likely to flirt with St. Louis, so a bit of rain chance there early on Sunday, and then we'll dry it out as we head into Sunday afternoon. So there is dry time this weekend for sure, but you're still going to have to dodge raindrops, especially in the morning hours on Saturday, south of St. Louis, Saturday evening late, and then as we head into Sunday morning. After that, it looks mainly dry. But the other thing you notice, once you get past the first 7 days of the forecast, the last 3 in this 10-day forecast are hot and humid too. Low to mid-90s for highs, it looks like next week. And we just get a whole pattern change, brings back the big heat dome into the bi-state region. And we haven't had a string of really hot days yet.
It's coming. Yep. Scott, thanks. Frank is here with sports.
Mike, the Cardinals played the worst team in baseball. How did that work out? How's it going for Jason Tatum in the NBA Finals? And I got a golf story you have to see to believe tonight.
Right now, Project 5 and Behavioral Health Response are teaming up to provide mental health counseling. If you or anyone you know needs mental health support, it's available until 10:30 tonight. You just call 988 to speak to a trained counselor. Teens can text Be Heard at 31658.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by Telly Tire and Auto Centers, driving your way since 1942.
It's a long season, it's a 4-game series, but you can't be losing to the team with the worst record in baseball, the Rockies. You can't. Defensive play of the game, Michael Toglia goes up and above the call of duty to rob Matt Carpenter of a home run. Cardinals down 3-1 in the 6th, and the Italian stallion Michael Ciani makes it a 1-run game with a base hit. Ivan Herrera scores. The Cardinals were 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position. Nolan Gorman had a chance in the 9th not to be. The Rockies beat the Cardinals 3-2. The family of the late, great Bill Walton honored before Game 1 of the NBA Finals tonight. And even Bill didn't have the range of 7'2" Kristaps Porzingis, who had 20 points after not playing for 38 days. Jason Tatum dunked himself to 16 points. Boston wins 107-89. Over 40,000 will be at the Dome Sunday for the Battlehawks and Brahmas playoff game. Dealing with that ankle injury, A.J. McCarron remains the story. McCarron gutted it out last week and threw a touchdown, and the coaching staff has never doubted this young man's heart.
You know, I give him credit that, you know, he wanted to play last week. He wanted to get back into action. He knows himself. He knows what he needs to get ready and get better. You know, I want to be cautious of some things, you know, when he's out there and not sure how healthy he is or how he's feeling or, you know, wanting to protect him and so forth. But at the same time, I know how AJ is, and he doesn't want me holding back.
The Nerix Hall Markers are loving life. Let's set the scene. Tied with Eureka in the state title game, 2 minutes left in double overtime, and Lauren Seppi converts on a penalty kick game winner. It was like something out of a movie for a program that has been building to this moment of glory.
Honestly, it's what I've dreamed of ever since I was a little kid. You know, you see that stuff in movies and you're like, wow, that would be crazy if that ever happened. And then it still hasn't hit me yet. It still doesn't feel real.
Looking up in the bleachers at this community, a sea of green, thousands of fans, and of those fans, hundreds of alumni.
And I got to take it home, and it actually slept right next to me in my bed. I have a queen bed. One pillow is me, and one pillow is the trophy. It was all nice and tucked in. So,
what a story. Brett Combs is a good golfer, a 7 handicapper. But what he did 5 days ago, not even Jack Nicklaus or Tiger Woods has done. With the help of photographer Randy Schwenkert, we give you the story. Bogey Hills Country Club in St. Charles has recorded 160 holes in one, but they never had a day like last Sunday. Even the geese stuck around to see it.
Went into shock phase. Magical.
It's like being in a twilight zone.
And you're about to enter another dimension of golf. This is 65-year-old businessman, father, and husband Brett Combs. On Sunday at 9:48 a.m., he used a 5 hybrid club on the second hole from 175 yards away.
Everybody was looking and said, oh, that's in the hole. That's a hit, and I thought it stopped by the hole, but another guy with a rangefinder said, no, it fell in.
At 11:15, Combs moved to the 8th hole, 145 yards, a 9-iron. And no one was certain at first where the ball ended up. And they looked and looked.
A ball mark here, another ball there. I thought it couldn't be. There's no way. I looked, it was in there. I backed off because I didn't want to be accused of cheating. My buddies came and saw it. I picked it out, number 2.
When we first heard about it, we had a member come in and said, Mr. Combs, you know, has had 2 hole-in-ones today. I'm like, yeah.
After all, the odds of making 2 holes in one for 9 holes is 156,250,000 to 1.
It's hard to believe, and then word spread, and
let it be known, Brett Combs, like all hole-in-oneers, paid for quite a celebration.
$1,300 worth.
Bought us food, which is unheard of. So I had a nice filet and about 20 beers.
And of course, Brett that night did what we all should do when you have a special night. You buy lottery tickets.
I was thinking the same thing.
He bought 3 of them, and he didn't win.
Didn't win. Well, he won the lottery on the golf course.
Unbelievable.
Boy, the Cardinals are frustrating, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Thanks, Frank. Well, how fast could you run a mile? Meet the Missouri teen who is now the fastest 8th grader in the state.
There's fast, and then there's Ella Messner fast. Last week, the 14-year-old from Kansas City ran a 5-minute, 5-second mile at a charity track meet in St. Louis. It makes her the fastest 8th grader in Missouri, and it was the 4th fastest nationwide. She broke her personal record by 17 seconds.
Wow. Well, be sure to grab a donut tomorrow. The first Friday of June is National Donut Day. It honors the Salvation Army women who served the pastry to soldiers during World War I. Check your local bakery or coffee shop to see what deals they may have.
Yes.
That's ready. There you have it. 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Start your day with Today in St. Louis at 4 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.